I get a lot of questions about where I find the books that I share on my channel. So I thought today I would come here and share all of the places that I love to shop for books online. Whether you're looking for new books, secondhand books, or vintage books, I've got you covered here. Today I'm sharing some of my favorite online bookstores. Hello, book friends. I'm Jen, and welcome back to my reading life. Now, we all know that shopping for books in a physical bookstore, well, there's truly nothing like it. I don't know about you, but I get excited the moment I walk through the doors. And whether I'm shopping for new books or secondhand books, I never know what kind of gems I'm going to discover. And while there's not quite that same feeling when shopping for books online, because we now have so many places where we can look for books, it allows us to find books that we probably never would have discovered otherwise because they just aren't available to us at our local bookstores, at our local libraries. And I have to say, one of my favorite things about technology is that I can find books from around the world and have them delivered right to my doorstep. And the great thing now about shopping for books online is that you can also support your local independent bookstores at the same time as shopping at an online bookshop. And I'm going to share two places where you can do that, where they give money back to your local independents. First, let us go through some of my favorite places to shop online for new books. Now, I just want to say something before I get started. I know that it is very easy and convenient, and the prices are fantastic at this online retailer who shall not be named. And right now, because Prime Days are happening, you can find things at amazing prices. I would just ask that maybe you consider buying other things here and not books. And there are some alternative places you can shop for books. And I know today is the final day of the Prime sale. So if you want to order something, do it now. But I hope that you will also continue to support these online bookstores after their sales are done and all through the year whenever you are able. I just think let us help keep these stores in business so that this one isn't the only place to go to for books. And before I get started, I do want to say that I do have a number of affiliate links for some of these online bookstores, and I do have some discount codes and different things that is all listed in the description box below. And when you shop through those affiliate links, it really helps to support me and my channel. And it's just a little something you can do that costs you nothing. And those links will take you directly to the website, to the product that you're looking for. And I greatly appreciate it. Anytime you can shop through those links, it really, really does help me a lot. Now let's get into the online bookstores that sell new books. And one of my very favorites is bookshop.org. And the great thing about bookshop.org is that it gives a percentage of your purchase back to independent bookstores. And even better than that, you can pick which bookstore you want to support, whether that's your local independent bookstore or an independent bookstore that you love to visit, or just one that you've heard of that you think needs a little bit of extra love to keep their doors open. You can choose every time you purchase, actually, you can change up who you want to support, and some percentage of your sale goes to that bookstore. And I just think that's a lovely way to support independent bookstores while shopping online and getting that amazing variety that you can find on the internet that maybe you can't find necessarily at your local independent bookstore. Though I will say, if you ask at your local bookstore for a book they don't carry, they can order that for you. So always keep that in mind as well. But bookshop.org is a fantastic place to shop for books, and I highly recommend checking it out. Now, their prices are not as good as that other bookstore that I mentioned, but today is the last day of their anti-Prime sale, and their shipping is free right now. And there are lots of books on sale at the moment, so I'd highly recommend going and giving them a look and seeing if there's anything that you can find. This is the order I just placed the other day during their anti-prime sale. I will have all of these books linked down in the description box below, so if you want to go to bookshop.org and check them out, you can do that. I highly recommend shopping there when you can. I often link my books that I share in my videos to bookshop.org, so you can support them throughout the year by finding those affiliate links down in my description boxes of my videos. Now, you all know my love for British fiction and my favorite place to shop online for books that I want to get a UK edition of or isn't sold here in the US is Blackwell's books. And Blackwell's is a fabulous online bookstore because not only are the prices great, but they ship free to the United States. There are no shipping costs. Well, it's all built into the cost of the books, but you're not going to see big price increases because of that. But actually their prices are competitive to that online retailer that shall not be named. And I think it is a fantastic way to get editions of books that you maybe can't find other places. And so, especially if you're looking for really unique editions of books, then I think Blackwell's is a great place to go to for finding books published in the UK. And like I said, shipping is included and there are no tariffs when they ship the books here to the US. I thought I'd share a few of the recent books that I have purchased from Blackwell's, and I really love to purchase from particular publishers or imprints, and one of those, of course, is the British Library Women Writers series. This is 1 Year's Time by Angela Milne. This is one of my most recent purchases, and Angela Milne is A.A. Milne's niece, so that's kind of a fun little connection there. And I really love the British Library Women Writers imprint, and I think they are republishing books that were long forgotten, and that is really fabulous, and buying them from Blackwell's is a great way to get these. Another imprint that was recently started by Penguin Books is the Mermaid Collection. And again, this is another imprint that is republishing forgotten women writers. And this book that I have here is Answer in the Negative by Henrietta Hamilton. This is a mystery and it sounds a little bit dark and gritty, and I believe we have a husband and wife crime-solving duo, and this was first published in 1959, and I am looking forward to giving this one a read. I highly recommend checking out the Mermaid Collection, and Blackwell's is a great place to get these books. I also really love these Vintage Classics edition put out by Vintage Books. They have these lovely red spines. This is Conference at Cold Comfort Farm by Stella Gibbons. This is a follow-up to Cold Comfort Farm by her. And I just love that they are republishing just really interesting books, and I always try to buy these from Blackwell's. I have 6 or 7 of the Vintage Classics editions, and I hope to add quite a few more to my collection over time, but again, just another imprint that I think is a great one to purchase through Blackwell's. And then finally, I have books by 2 different publishers, small publishers of British books, and both of these have websites where you can shop for books on their websites. But I will say that the cost of shipping is a bit on the high side if you're going to be shipping to the United States. And so another great place to get editions of these books are on Blackwell's. And first up is Persephone. So the Persephone books, this is Hop, Step, and Jump by Winifred Watson. I really do love the Persephone edition. So they have both these gray covered editions, and then I believe it's called their Classics editions, which have different paintings on the outside. I will show a picture of one here. And then all of their books have these beautiful end papers, which are hand chosen for each title in their collection and goes with the book itself. And so there's always kind of relevant information about that. The one thing about buying from Blackwell's is you don't get the bookmark that Persephone does send with their books, so you will be missing that. But the books all come just like they come from Persephone otherwise, with the slipcover or dust jacket on them. And even though they are really paperbacks, they are such high quality, and I just love these books. And again, they are publishing or republishing such interesting titles and authors. I will link to their website in the description box because it is full of so much information about the books that they publish, the authors that they publish. I highly recommend signing up for their email newsletter. It is fabulous. And this is just a wonderful way to read books that have, again, been a little bit forgotten, but Persephone is bringing them back to us. And then finally, my last small publisher that I often buy from Blackwell's, though I have bought directly from the publisher herself, and that is Manderley Press. This is my most recent Manderley Press purchase. This is Underfoot in Show Business by Helene Hanff. And while I have read this one already, I just couldn't resist this gorgeous edition. They have these sort of cloth bound edges. They're just so well put together. I love these books. Manderley Press is obviously named after Manderley from Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. And the reason that the publisher named her business that is because all of the books that she chooses really have a focus on setting and location and place. That plays a big part in all of the books that she selects to republish. And I just really love that. I just think she's got some really interesting niche books that you won't find other places. And like I said, her editions are just not to be beat. Absolutely beautiful. I will also link the Manderley Press website and also give them a follow on Instagram as well. You can find out lots of information about upcoming titles, and highly recommend getting these books. Wonderful additions to have as part of your permanent library collection, but Blackwell's Books is a great place to find these. Next up is an online bookstore that sells not only really unique books, but also really unique bookish gifts. And I have been shopping at this online bookstore long before they had a website. They were just a catalog-based bookseller, and that is Bas Bleu. And Bas Bleu means blue stocking in French, and that is really sort of the cornerstone. It's like kind of catering to that sort of unique blue stocking type of person who just really loves books and loves talking about books and loves bookish things. And if that is you, then definitely give Bas Bleu a look. I'm going to share a few things from my most recent order from them, just to kind of give you a flavor of the different things that you can find there. I also highly recommend signing up for their physical catalog, which they still send in the mail, and I just love receiving and looking through. And whomever writes all of the blurbs about the books and products in their catalog does such an excellent job. Makes me want to purchase every single thing in there. I have to restrain myself. They also have a society that you can join called the Bas Bleu Society, and that gets you 10% off your purchases and free shipping, I believe. And I think there might be a couple of other little perks that you get as well. And I've been a society member for the past couple of years. I really do try to make a concerted effort to make a purchase from them about once a quarter to support them. And then one of the first places I go to when I start my Christmas shopping is actually Bas Bleu. And I try to buy a few things for my loved ones and friends from there because I just want to support them. And the holidays are a really great time to do that. But any time is a good time. So of course, they sell a lot of really fun and unique books. And one of the most recent books I purchased from them is 100 Poems to Help You Sleep. Edited by Jane McMorland Hunter. And I have this same edition of 100 Happy Poems that was edited by Jane McMorland Hunter, and I absolutely loved it. So I wanted to get this one, and this has been just sitting on my bedside table, and I just read a poem or two every night when I get into bed, and they're just sort of lovely, calm, soothing little poems. None of them are very long. In fact, some of them are quite short. And I really just love these poetry books that Jane McMorland Hunter puts together. She does such a fabulous job with them. And again, I was just very pleased to find this book and to purchase it from an online bookseller that I really love supporting. And then in that same order where I purchased that book, I also purchased these cute little literary cats note cards. So they have little pop-up note cards. Let me show you one. And there are 4 different designs. So this one is Pride and Prejudice. So then you open it up and you see that it's a little bit of a pop-up. It says Pride and Prejudice right there. So there is Pride and Prejudice and Alice in Whiskerland, Romeo and Juliet, and The Great Gatsby. And you can see the 4 different designs here on the back. If you ever receive a note from me, you might get one of these. Actually, I send out snail mail to my Book Jenny of the Month, which is a drawing I do every month. And one of my Book Jennies gets to be Book Jenny of the Month. And that is the person whose name you see at the end of all my videos. But they also get snail mail from me and they get some book recommendations. So whoever is an upcoming Book Jenny of the Month, you might get one of these cards in the mail. And then the final kind of bookish item that I purchased with that same order from Bas Bleu was this so fun puzzle. This is called Cat's Eye View. This was a New Yorker cover that's been turned into a puzzle. And I mean, how could I resist that with the cute little cat and the little tea set on the table? And I just think this is beautiful. Cannot wait to put this together. I'm finishing up another puzzle right now, and then I am going to start in on this one. But yes, like I said, Bas Bleu has fabulous things. I mean, they've got home decor, they have t-shirts, they've got pajamas, they've got all kinds of bookish items, stationery, all kinds of different things in addition to the books that they sell. So definitely go and give them a look if you've never shopped there before. They don't know me. They don't know that I'm promoting them here in this video, but I just love their website and their business so much, and I love supporting them, and I hope that you might give them a little bit of your support as well. Now, if you are looking for a great place to get new books, and by new books, I just mean books that are not secondhand, so books that have not been sold to anyone else, you will be the first owner of them, then this next bookstore is the place to go because their prices of books are amazing. And I believe these are all like remaindered books, so when a publisher prints a certain number of books and then it's sort of like an overstock, then I believe that Book Outlet, which is the bookshop I'm talking about, gets a lot of these books at discounted prices. And I think this is a fantastic place to shop for books. And I have found so many amazing books through Book Outlet. I'm actually going to show you a little screenshot of my current cart with Book Outlet. I'm trying to decide what I want to purchase, but here are just some of the books that I have in my cart right now. I also really like that on Book Outlet, you can create a wish list. You can save books for later if you decide you don't want to purchase them right now. Now, I will say that once the books are gone, they're gone. And they usually will tell you if books are low in stock, if they only have a few copies left, or it'll say like 25 plus copies in stock. So you can kind of gauge if, can I wait maybe a little bit and see if I don't want to buy this right now. I do have a link to Book Outlet. I'm not an affiliate with them. They don't have an affiliate program, but anybody can set up sort of a like friends discount code. And so if you sign up with them and purchase something there, then you can get a code and you can send that. And the person who uses your code gets $5 off their first $30 order. And then I also get a $5 reward for them making that purchase. And then there is one thing I do want to note when you purchase books from Book Outlet, because the books are not being sold at their full retail price, they have a black dot on the edge of the pages, either on the top or sometimes it's on the bottom here, but there will be like a black marker pen on there, just this little dot indicating that the book has been sold at a discounted price, like it's a remaindered book. So this is Rosamund Pilcher's A Place Like Home. I purchased this quite a while ago. It is one of the few Rosamund Pilchers I have left to read yet, but I'm going to get to it soon. And so if that is something that bothers you, it doesn't bother me because I mean, I hardly see it unless I'm showing it to you. But certainly when you're reading, let me show you. I mean, you can see it a little bit at the top of the page, but just want to make sure you're aware of that, because if you're looking for like a pristine copy of something, it will be marked with that black pen. Just keep that in mind when you're buying from Book Outlet. But otherwise, such a great place to find books at amazing prices. I don't think I've ever paid more than $8 or $10 for a book, and that would have been like a hardcover. But I think almost always I pay about between $5.99 and $7.49 for all of the books that I purchase there, and sometimes even cheaper, and they often have sales. So you can sign up for their email list and they will let you know when they have a sale coming on. But it's really a great place to shop for books. Now, you do have to do a bit of searching. So I search on Book Outlet a few different ways. I do look through their categories. So I'll check things like their classics that they have for sale. Sometimes they'll have different, like right now they have beach reads, so you can look through that. But there will sometimes be thousands of books in their categories, so it can be a challenge to find what you're looking for. I really often find that searching by author or by title, or sometimes by publisher. So say I'm looking for a British Library crime classics book, which I have bought quite a few from Book Outlet recently, and you can search for British Library crime classics and those will come up. So if there's something specific like that, an imprint or a specific publisher you're looking for, you can search that way as well on their website. But then sometimes I just browse and I will get sucked in for hours sometimes just looking through all of the books they have on offer. It's a fabulous place to look for middle grade books if you enjoy reading middle grade books. It is just overall really a wonderful place to find discounted new books. Next up is another UK bookseller, publisher, and these books are a little bit on the pricier side, and shipping can be a little bit steep as well, but they do ship to the United States, so there is that. And they also have a lovely quarterly magazine that you can subscribe to, which I am currently subscribed to at the moment. And I recently made a purchase from them of a few books because they were offering signed editions of Miranda Mills' new Commonplace book that is coming out later this year. And I really wanted a signed edition, and so I purchased it through Slightly Foxed. This is their little quarterly magazine that they send out, and I love how it's described on the back here. It says, "The independent-minded quarterly that combines good looks, good writing, and a personal approach, Slightly Foxed introduces its readers to books that are no longer new and fashionable but have lasting appeal. Good-humored, unpretentious, and a bit eccentric, it's more like a well-read friend than a literary magazine." And so it just has different writers writing about books and other authors and different things that are literary in nature, and it's really a lovely little quarterly subscription, and I am really enjoying this. Is the first time I've subscribed to it, and I've received 2 copies of the magazine so far, but I'm just loving it, and I think I'm probably going to renew my subscription even though it's not cheap. And then in addition to pre-ordering Miranda Mills's book, I also ordered 2 other Slightly Foxed books. These are the Slightly Foxed editions. And the first one that I picked was My Salinger Year. This is by Joanna Rakoff. I think it's Rakoff. And the reason I purchased this was because I actually watched the movie of My Salinger Year. It has Sigourney Weaver in it, and it's all about this young girl who goes to work for J.D. Salinger's publisher, and he is obviously notoriously was a recluse, and it's just all about how she kind of gets to know him, and he doesn't like to answer any of his fan mail, and she has to open all of his mail, and she takes it upon herself to start answering some of the letters, and so you sort of follow along with what happens there. But I didn't realize it was a book when I watched the movie, and now I am so curious to read this because I thought the movie was really wonderful. And then I also purchased The Other Day by Dorothy Whipple, and I really want to read more Dorothy Whipple, and this is a memoir about her life. Slightly Foxed, I believe, publishes mostly nonfiction, so again, this is a memoir, but I love these little sort of cloth-bound hardback editions, and all of the Slightly Foxed books are numbered, so this is number 68. And again, they just have a lot of really unique books that they have republished. They also sell books published by other publishers as well. So like I said, they are sending out Miranda Mills's book, and you can find other things there as well on the Slightly Foxed website. Again, they will be linked down below if you want to go and check them out. So these are a little bit on the pricier side, and I don't know if you can see, can you see the little fox with the open book that is imprinted on all of their cloth bound covers? They're definitely a splurge, but I'm excited to have a few of their editions and hopefully over time maybe collect a few more of books that I really, really want to have on my shelf. And then next up, I wanted to mention one of my favorite places to get audiobooks. Obviously, Audible is definitely an option for audiobooks, and I do use Audible because there are a few things that I can only get on Audible. They are Audible exclusives, and you cannot find them anywhere else. But another great place to get audiobooks online is Libro.fm. And like bookshop.org does for physical books, for audiobooks, Libro.fm also supports independent bookstores. So you can connect your account to the independent bookstore of your choice, and your audiobook purchases and your subscription give money to those independent bookstores. So I also think that's just a really great way to support independent booksellers. And I know right now Libro.fm is having a sale. If you sign up for an annual membership, you will get an extra audiobook credit for free. So instead of getting 12 audiobook credits for the year, you will get 13. So if that's something you're interested in, head over to Libro.fm today, because I believe the sale ends today, and you can get yourself a subscription. It is fantastic. I love my Libro.fm subscription, and they have so many fabulous books. They also often run sales, so even if you don't want to get a subscription, or that's not something that's feasible for you right now, sign up for their email newsletter and you will get notified anytime they're having a sale on audiobooks, and they've had some good sales recently, so definitely keep your eye out for that. But if you're looking for another resource for audiobooks, then I definitely recommend Libro.fm. Those are all my favorite places to shop online for new books. And now let's talk about secondhand and vintage books. Now, shopping online for secondhand and vintage books is a little bit of a gamble. So if you are very particular about how your books look, condition that your books are in, then just be a little bit wary and be very particular about what you're purchasing, because I've thought I was getting something in a certain condition and it has turned out not to be the case. And sometimes that bothers me and sometimes it doesn't. It just depends on the book. But on the flip side to that, I've also received some really beautiful editions of books that I wasn't expecting. So my favorite place to shop online for secondhand books is Thrift Books. It is my go-to place to shop for secondhand books. I just find their website easy to use. I often can find what I'm looking for, not always, but often. I like their app interface. You can also save books to buy later, or if you're waiting for a book to come back in stock, you can kind of turn on alerts for that. And I just really find it an easy place to shop for secondhand books. I will say that it's sometimes difficult to determine what edition of a book you are going to be getting. And on occasion, I have thought I was getting one edition of a book and I ended up getting a different one that I didn't want. So do bear that in mind. Even checking ISBN numbers, which are usually specific to the edition of the book, has been known to lead me astray sometimes. So I will give that caveat to shopping on Thrift Books. Another place to shop online for secondhand books is Abe Books. I have only purchased a few things from Abe Books. I find it a little bit more challenging to use, though you can see where the books are coming from Abe Books. So if they're getting it from, say, a half-price bookstore in Texas, it will say that. So you can kind of have an idea of where the books are coming from. And I don't know why I don't shop more on Abe Books, but I just find myself more drawn to thrift books. And so that is where I head to shop. And if I find what I'm looking for there, then I don't look any farther afield. So Abe Books is another option though. And like I said, I have purchased a few things from there, and I've had pretty good success with them as well in terms of getting what I expected from what the listing said. So I think Abe Books does a better job of that than Thrift Books does. So just keep that in mind. And then there's also Better World Books, though I haven't purchased from them directly, though I have bought books from Better World Books through the Amazon secondhand book shopping. You know, they're like linked to Amazon. They're sort of like a second party seller through Amazon. So I have done it that way. It's been a while now since I've purchased anything from there. But again, they are yet another option. And then of course there's eBay. I actually haven't purchased any books on eBay. Back when eBay was kind of first getting going, I tried using it just to buy a few different things, and I just found it so stressful and I just didn't love the interface. And so I've never been a big eBay shopper. And I know I know it works a little differently now than it used to, and I know not everything is like a bidding war kind of thing. I still just don't shop there that often, but a lot of my friends who really have fabulous vintage book collections have good success on eBay. So if you're looking for vintage books, that might be a great place to look. But one of these sort of maybe you didn't think of this places where I have found fabulous vintage and secondhand books is Etsy. And I know you may not think of Etsy off the top of your head as being a place where you can shop for books, but actually you can. In fact, this beautiful edition that I just got of Fletcher's End by D.E. Stevenson was from an Etsy seller, and it is in just beautiful condition. I couldn't have been more pleased with it, and it came with this lovely bookmark, which actually had Audrey Hepburn on it, and I don't think they knew that I was a huge Audrey Hepburn fan, but this is from Few and Far Between Book on Etsy. I was just so pleasantly pleased with this edition of the book. It is just in fabulous, fabulous condition. I'll probably never actually read from this because I just wanted to stay beautiful. But if you're looking for vintage and secondhand books, then I think Etsy is a fantastic place to look for books. Though I will say a lot of what I found there has just been luck, pure luck. Even though this video has been all about shopping for books online, you don't have to shop for books. You can utilize your local library, and I hope that you do, even if you also love shopping for books, like I do. We love our local library, and I frequent it once a month at least. And whether you read all the books you check out or not, just know that every book you check out, that circulation helps your library. So please keep that in mind. Those numbers of the amount of books people are checking out, how often a book is checked out, all of that helps the library stay open, buy more books, have more books and resources available to your community. And remember that your library is more than just books. There are all kinds of resources that your library can provide you with. So be sure to ask. And if your library doesn't have something that you're looking for, let them know. Ask them if they can get it for you. Sometimes they can, you just never know. And it never hurts to ask. Libraries are such a wonderful resource for book lovers. I hope you enjoyed this video and getting to hear about some of my favorite places to shop for books online. It's just amazing the ability we have in this day and age to get our hands on books that we might otherwise not have found if the internet didn't exist. So thank you, internet, for bringing these books into my life. Let us chat down in the comments below. What are some of your favorite places to shop online for books? And tell me about a very exciting find. What is a book that you found that you just squealed as soon as you saw it? Let's share some book shopping joy down in the comments below. And if you're here but you don't have anything that you'd like to add, but you'd like to let me know that you were here, well, let's just leave stacks of books because we're talking about book shopping. Maybe also that little money with the wings where the money is flying away, because that does happen when I shop online for books, and money just, but it's money well spent. So leave those emojis down below. I love seeing those and knowing you are here, and they really help my channel, as do likes and also hypes on the YouTube mobile app. And if you're new here and you haven't yet done so, I would love it if you would hit that subscribe button and join my cozy bookish community. Thank you all so much for being here, taking time out of your day to spend it with me, and for all of your lovely comments on all of my recent videos. As always, I'll be back with another video very soon, and until then, I wish you a good book and a warm cuppa. Bye.